Well, welcome to the Headhunters Northwest podcast. This is super special to me because I have Jeremy Rosenberg here, who is the VP of Sales and Marketing.
That's correct.
For Surefire. I'd make sure something didn't happen and you got promoted to king or something.
Or demoted. That could happen too.
There's no demotions. We're at SHOT Show Live, so this is really fun. And Jeremy is our first podcast guest in our little booth here recording.
I feel honored. I really appreciate you asking me.
It's another SHOT Show with lots of people.
It is. It does. No, it's funny. There's all this build up to SHOT Show, and everybody's prepared. We spend months getting ready for it, and it seems like we start planning for the next SHOT Show before the SHOT Show ends. But once we get here, and it was like I equate it to when you're getting onto a roller coaster, right? And you finally strap in, and you realize, I don't have a choice. I'm along for the ride now.
Ready or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, once we get here and we just start going, and it's,
And then it's routine. You get to run into people and see people that you know. And we're here to do business, but it's also such a really special industry that you get to make friends with other people. It's not just about the products you're selling. It's just about seeing lots of people, and we're all in one place.
Absolutely.
We could all trade restaurant secrets, where to go, where not to go.
Well, this is the one time a year where we all are in one place at one time, and it's nice because you see people enjoying seeing it.
Yeah. Well, tell me about, let's talk a little bit about you. How did you even get into this industry? Because there's a lot of people that listen to our podcast that have sent us emails and let us know that they want to get into our industry, but they don't even know how to start. There's like this veil that people think there is. How did you ever fall into this? Because you don't think of Southern California as one of the companies of a firearms company.
It's not a hotbed of firearms activity.
Right. But a great company in its own right.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I actually kind of fell into it. This was kind of my second career. So before this, I started off, I was working in Silicon Valley. I was worked for software company, so I worked for Oracle and Intuit, and did a couple startups. It was kind of the mid-90s, that was that initial boom. So I did that right out of college for about 15 years. And then moved, after I got married, and we moved from Northern California down to Southern.
Okay.
To where my family was. We can get closer to family reside. So I was working for actually a hardware company that I was with for Gateway Computers.
Oh, wow.
They got bought by Acer.
Oh, yeah.
Thing, right? So writing on the wall, I was like, okay, this is an acquisition. Probably a good idea to start looking.
Gosh, Gateway, they grew like crazy.
Well, they were the cowbots.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Midwest.
And
the whole thing. Yeah, they were cool.
Yeah, they were. I bet that was fun.
It was a lot of fun. That whole industry was interesting. It was very fun as well. So that all happened, and I was like, okay, writing's on the wall. Probably should start looking. And I found an ad. It was an online, help wanted ad.
Is that right?
Job ad.
Yeah.
And it didn't say the company was, but they're like, we're looking for a product manager, somebody who's comfortable in a tactical environment, likes to be outdoors, and all these things. I was like, I don't know what that is. Like, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
So I just threw my resume out there for it to see what happens. And they called me, they invited me for an interview. And it just so happened at the time they were looking for somebody, people bringing experience from outside the industry.
Yeah. That's good. That was smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's I started at Surefire. Was 2000. I started in 2007.
Yeah.
The first SHOT Show was 2002, and that's really how it was.
Gosh.
Yeah, I was doing product management or product marketing recently. Yeah. And kind of evolved from there.
Well, that is a really interesting path, and I think one you see frequently is you take a product expert. It seems like a natural path to go into marketing and sales, and you've grown your career doing that because Surefire is not a small company.
Yeah, and I was very fortunate that Surefire gave me the opportunity to expand, right?
Yeah.
To grow. So I did start, and my history and background at that point, been probably not marketing. And so I did that with Surefire for a couple of years, and then I started getting more involved on the sales side. And so we had a petition open up on the sales side. So I raised my hand and said, yeah, let me try this.
That's great.
Came in as a regional manager and handled basically 13 Western states, and just a lot of road time, getting in front of dealers, working with our reps. And honestly, it was having the best educations and sales that I think it's
I'll bet.
doing it every day, right?
Yeah.
And I found out really quickly that all the things I learned in the tech industry don't necessarily apply when it comes to sales and dealing with CPA.
What doesn't apply?
Well, our industry, and you know, I said, is very elite.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the tech industry, I'm not saying it's not real, but there's a tendency for it to use a lot of buzzwords,
Yeah.
a lot of jargon, and
Yeah.
that type of thing. And that doesn't really
Doesn't jive with this industry.
It really doesn't. And so I really had to learn quickly, you know, that's not what's going to price these gigs. They want to know who you are.
Yeah,
And it
exactly.
becomes about the relationship. And, you know, it's interesting because some of the accounts and the dealers I met back then, 13 years ago, are the ones that I still know and talk
Yeah.
to and have those relationships with. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are, who you're working with. It's not interpersonal.
It's the people. It's not the company. They'll still buy the products because the products are good. Like Surefire has amazing products. So I heard from one of the distributors recently, not the one you're thinking of, a different one,
Okay.
that they sold more Surefire products than anything else this last year.
Well, I'll tell you what, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
We've had a really
Yeah.
good year, and we've had some very, very strong distributor partners,
Yeah.
as well as our dealer partners. So,
Great products and good marketing, right?
and-
Good relationships.
from a sales standpoint, it starts with client, right?
Yeah.
And that's the mission of our company. And it has. So we're celebrating our 45th year
Are you really?
this year. Yep, it's our 45th anniversary. We're very proud.
Privately held.
Privately held. So Dr. Matthews,
Amazing.
founder of the company, still integrally involved. He still comes into work most days.
Yes.
He's very, very involved in shops. Business, huge. But his mission has always been to make the best possible product that I've built always with. Whatever that means. So like we military, we law enforcement. I would say, if you're coming down off of a mountain after dark, after chasing an elk for a day,
Yeah.
and that's the only flashlight you can get out, that's the most important piece of kit you can get out right there.
Yeah.
And, and so for our staff, it needs to work with video. So anyway, that's a long
Yeah,
way to...
it can't fail. There's no second chance.
And we won't allow it, right? So we
Yeah.
don't release product that we're not confident in.
Yeah.
And so from a sales and marketing perspective, that makes my job very easy because it all starts with the customer.
But it's not that easy because you help come up with pricing programs. I mean, it can be quite complicated in our industry. You've got all kinds of other factors and you're selling a product that's highly regulated.
When you talk about the suppressor side,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
this is a whole other complexity. And for us being both sides, dealer direct and distribution, plus law enforcement, plus the military side.
Wow.
There's a lot of moving parts there,
Yeah.
right?
Different buying cycles and different types of products.
Absolutely. Right? And different pricing schemes.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of those things. And say when you're pricing the city of these things together, you got to take all of that into consideration.
Yeah.
And you got to make sure that play it.
So do you, in your role as sales and marketing, I would assume you really are dealing with a lot of different marketing and a lot of different sales types, but how many people support you in your role? How many people are in sales and marketing?
We have, so between the two organizations, that includes our inside sales team and our marketing, and our report, everybody, is about 40 people.
Wow.
In that organization that supports with this two. And then on top of that, we work with the Evans group and our outside sales.
Okay. Right.
So that's another 35 to 40 guys
On the ground.
that are on the boots on the ground and representing our brand in front of dealers and distributors every day. So
Wow.
both internal and externally, look at this. We're to the 75 other people that are, making sure it's all happening.
Yeah. Oh,
And-
it's an effort.
And it's all about the team. It really is. And
Yeah.
it starts, it funnels throughout the entire organization, because you figure as many of our inside sales tell, sometimes that's our customer's first touch point for the show call.
Yeah.
And if they're not happy, if they don't have a good experience, then that can plug in title. So we can go right to empower and have next it's working within our organization. We're putting our best foot forward and their business.
That's fantastic. What's do you guys have some pretty exciting new things in your booth this year, or how did that come together?
We do, obviously. So this year on the suppressor side, we launched RC3.
Okay.
So RC3, which is our low back pressure suppressor. We're super proud of that. So it's been in the works for two or 3 years.
Wow.
And we were able to essentially replicate, the form and function of the RC2. So same weight, same diameter. You're within a dB and a half of sound reduction with 60% less back pressure.
No kidding.
So less gas in the shooter's face. So and all the negative health benefit, negative health impact.
Yeah.
That, plus less wear and tear.
Boy, I sure wish we could just go out to the store and pick up a suppressor, because so much better for hearing. So frustrating. These are so highly regulated.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of reasons for that.
Yeah.
Obviously, and we know that those are. And when we're selling, especially when we're selling to law enforcement, we talk about safety.
Yeah.
It's a sound device. It really is. And you think about the shooter's hearing protection, but it was, the community as well. There's something that happens, and they end up having it loud.
Yeah.
That impacts, the civilians as well.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of line.
Yeah.
See.
So you guys, tell me about your product lines. You have the suppressors and you have the flashlights, right? What else?
So you kind of divide that. So on the suppressor side, you've got suppressors, and then we've got our muzzle devices as well, which are our actual attachment points for the suppressor.
Great. Okay.
And then on the flashlight side, you kind of divide that up. You've got weapon lights, so pistol mounted, rifle mounted, X300 scout lights, and then you've got your heating gills. All right. Then on top of that, in addition to that, you have hearing protection. So our EP3s are
okay.
Are phenomenal products.
Man, I'm glad I asked, because I would have missed that completely. I forgot about that.
Yeah, no, they're great. Enable you to be able to hear, can also provide that level of protection.
That's great. Well, you have covered a lot at Surefire for them, and obviously your career has gone up and up and up. And here you are at SHOT Show. What do you think the next 5 years look like for our industry and for where we're headed?
Yeah. No, it's interesting. I mean, that's always the magic question, right?
Yeah.
I try to, we want to polish up our crystal ball and kind of.
Well, I mean, your experience, where we're going. I mean, if you look back, a couple of years ago we had COVID, and then we didn't have SHOT Show, and then the next year it came back. It was a little quieter, which I enjoyed. And then, look at this year. It seems to me like it's back to its insanity.
I feel like we're back.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
For us, for SHOT Show serves multiple purposes, right?
Yeah.
It's as much a marketing event as a sales event.
Yeah.
But this, as you said, we're all here. So this gives us a chance to meet with our key customers.
Yeah.
But also a lot of our actual customers.
Yes.
As well.
Yeah, and it looks to me like, and it seems like, and everyone I've talked to, a very strong international presence, which is good, because we have a lot of companies in our industry that are international as well.
Right. And we've seen that grow year after year. With the international piece of it becomes more and more.
Yeah.
And I think this year, especially considering it's been going on the international front, that's even more so.
Good point. Well, thank you for coming and doing this with me.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it. I know it's, you've got to hike around and across this huge building and taking time out of your really busy schedule. And I just really appreciate that, because you're exactly the type of person that I think people should know about and makes up the quality of this industry. And you and I have gotten to know each other over the last couple of years. And I think the beauty of that is everything may not work out like we want all the time, and we may not always agree, but it's awesome to see people you care about and that you enjoy being around no matter what. And I think that is what this industry makes it so special.
Yeah. I agree. Well, thank you very much for having me.
Appreciate
I really
it.
enjoy it. I've enjoyed our conversation.
Thanks, Jeremy. All right, that's it for Headhunters Northwest podcast, and we'll see you next time.